Hi, welcome to Inside the Market. My name is David Jacobson, and you're watching Pcarmarket Live. You can find us on YouTube, also on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Subscribe definitely to our channel, because this way you can keep up to date on what's happening, the newest trends, what just sold and why, and it really keeps you plugged into what's going on. Inside the Market will review current market trends and actually the auction results that happen here on Pcarmarket. We're going to answer some questions also about the market, the Pcarmarket itself, and Deal Tank, and some other important things about the auction itself. Today I have Jim Barry. You all know Jim Barry, our senior VP. Hey, Jim.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, you sound very excited to be here. Nice to see you. And also we have a little special guest here. We have Tom Halou. Say hello, Tom Halou.
Hello, everybody.
And Tom is going to give us some insight to, I'm going to say this, okay? Maybe a different generation's take on some of the points I'm going to make, and you may get some counterpoints. It's always good to hear both sides because, you know, I have my taste, and the disclaimer is everything that I say is not the complete view of everyone that works here. I don't really need to say that, right? But it does, because it is interesting. We all have our different perspectives on cars, because today we're going to be talking about a couple of results that happened here on Pcarmarket. One is a GT4 2020, right? And the other one is a GT3 Touring. So the reason why it's interesting is because we're going to talk a little bit about the car before we get into the actual auction results. We took it for a ride. I know there's a lot of reviews out there. I know Doug DeMoro said it was the greatest Porsche. I think he said the greatest new Porsche he's ever driven. Is that what
he said? Something to that effect, yeah.
And I've seen some other ones. You know, it's really amazing the different perspective that we come from, because I'm going to be honest with you, Porsche to me makes luxury cars. I am from the place where if I'm driving a sports car, I want to feel everything. I want it to be super visceral. I don't mind if it rides hard. It's even funny when I look back at the Z06 when it came out, that all the reviews on the Corvette Z06, it was like, it rides so hard. It's a hard riding car. And I drove one. I was like, yeah, this is nice. You know, and then I drive the regular Corvette. It feels like I'm in a Cadillac. So, you know, again, it comes from all perspective, you know, so I think Tom will give his perspective there as well as Jim. And then we'll get into the auctions. But, you know, just for reference, okay, this is my daily driver. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This is what I like to drive. And you know what? This is even too soft and luxurious for me. But it's something that I like to drive. I did this recently, so I didn't have to worry about if there was dirt on the road or it was raining. You know, Jim, we know how much
Oh, yeah.
Right? How important it is.
This is a clear mind driving experience now.
It is. Yeah. I'm always worrying, is it raining? I can't take my car out. Where am I parking it? I'm not bringing it to the mall. And now I'm like, screw it, man. I'm going to just build a car that I could drive in any weather, have fun.
I'm going to begin vandalizing my car this week. I really love this.
Yeah, no, you've been seeing me enjoy my car, right?
I know.
And it's like a whole different level, because I have a Taycan at home, and every morning I actually go in there and I look back and forth, and I always take the 79 SC, whatever you would call it. It's not a rat rod. I mean, we actually did it nice. It has air conditioning. I put Bluetooth. I put, it's got great heat. It's got the Apple CarPlay radio, and it's really great. So this is what I'm driving daily.
And a nice cup holder.
And game changer, man. I have a cup holder in there now, and when I get my, the place just closed over here. We had this great, it's called Fritition, and it was like these really healthy morning drinks, and it was my go-to place every morning, and now they're gone. But I really put the cup holder in for them, because they have these big, like, kale, beautiful morning breakfast drinks, and I when I got that cup holder, it was fun. I'd have to keep it between my legs and drive with the stick, you know. So I actually, some of you could definitely relate to that, trying to balance your manual transmission with holding a hot or cold drink. But so this was, yeah, right. It was a game changer, and Brad, I know, was a big fan of that, because he has it in his cars. But, you know, so I may not be the best review for the GT4, because the GT4, to me, it's an unbelievable car. The quality is incredible. It's very luxurious. It felt narrow. It felt like almost they put a lot of performance, and they tried to build up a car. I don't think it was worth putting that much into. They should have. They're blurring the lines too much, as far as I'm concerned. And again, the car is absolutely tremendous. And when we compare them to the Touring and the price difference, man, oh man, I think the Touring is leaps and bounds ahead of the car. And it should be, I guess, 40, 50 grand. But I don't know, man. Tom, you drove the car. My take on it was an incredible automobile, a lot of fun. Again, too much for the roads around here because you really don't need much power-wise because you're going to either hit traffic or you're going to just get into a road you can't speed. So I really enjoy my 911s, my early cars, because I could bring them close to their limits. The GT4 I felt was an incredible car. Again, it was a little soft for me. It was a little too luxurious for me for a sports car when I'm in that sports car mode. But you had a different take on it.
Yeah, absolutely, David. After being behind the wheel of it, the first words out of my mouth were confidence inspiring. That car just makes you want to push it and keep going, and it's just asking for more. Now, you say that you enjoy driving the classics, the air-cooleds, because you could push it to the limit harder on the street.
Yeah,
Now,
I get no confidence. I don't want confidence. Let me tell you.
You want it to scare you.
I don't want confidence. When I'm driving a car on the roads, I want to lose confidence a little bit. That's when my butterflies happen.
I think everyone's limits on the roads differ.
That's true. That's true.
Me behind the wheel of the GT4 on some of the twisty roads around here might differ from your perspective in that sense.
No, but you have confidence, and you're a driver, and I know you go to the track, and you had the opportunity to, you put a little video together I saw. I'll even pop it up here for a minute so you all can see Tom driving the GT4.
Everything from the brakes to the transmission to this phenomenal steering, absolutely tight. This car is just overall the real deal package.
Big cheesy smile and all, but he, again, it's really so amazing the different perspectives that we come to, because I thought the car was incredible, but and it definitely builds. Come on, of course it builds confidence. I mean, it's planted, it's mid-engine, it's easy to drive, but you drive a Mazda.
Correct. I drive a 2016 Mazda Miata Club package.
Okay, now honestly, if you were going to drive around here and you were going to take one with your friends out or by yourself on a Sunday morning for 45 minutes, which car would you rather drive?
I can tell you.
Hold on, I have a sound effect. No, that's the wrong one.
Wrong
but
one.
You know what I mean. Good.
I can tell you, as far as steering goes and gearbox and whatnot, the GT4 felt like a more powerful, a little more planted version of my Miata. That tight cockpit, that racy feeling, I just love it.
You said that when you drove that car, you came back and you said that. I forgot. So, and what you mean by that is the size of the vehicle or the way? Tell me more about what you mean by they were similar.
Just the handling characteristics, the steering inputs. That car they both feel planted. And that GT4, I mean, that the 2020 engine upgrade to the 4-liter, just a tremendous difference. Given from the 2016. That power upgrade makes it goes from being a quick car in the 2016 to what I can now say is a fast car.
Yeah, it's probably a heavyweight, as far as performance now with that. I agree with you. When we were driving it sounded great. It had a lot of power. I know that you didn't have a problem with the long gears. You said that you actually were okay with those.
Yeah, the 2016, going for it, you get on it all the way, and it's just missing something. It's a little flat in the power.
Yeah.
They changed that with the 2020, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. I agree 100%. The 16, we had one here for a while. Underwhelming. This car definitely brings you over that hump. But again, the perspective to me is great car, great quality, a little too luxurious for a sports car for me, Jim. And you were with me when we drove it, and the first thing you said was, it's not as loud as the 2016.
Yeah,
you're better at that than remembering.
Yeah, it remedied the power issue, because I remember when we took the 2016, we went on that nice ride with it, and the car handles so well and it's built so well. The power kind of disappointed you. You know what I mean? Because the car can handle so much more. The power is there now, but the sound, I think it's emission stuff, right?
I believe
the sound is less. I'm telling you, it's less. I just feel it. Because the old one, I loved it. This one, I was like going like this to try to hear. And don't get me wrong, it's not a quiet car, but the old one had more sound to me. It really did.
Yeah, I guess. And here's three of us talking about the car and all having a couple of minutes behind the wheel. And again, when I saw the other reviews and I got in the car, I get it. It's such an incredibly mid-engine, beautiful driving, easy to handle car. I like something a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more less confidence building, I guess. And that's just the difference here. So Tom, thanks for Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that. So we're going to go on to talking about the GT4, the 718 GT4. Jim, this car. Let me pop it up over here so you all can take a look at it. This is a GT4. Oh, sorry, everybody. Okay, there you go. The GT4, 718 came in GT4. Beautiful color in chalk, right?
Yeah,
We love chalk.
very nice.
Love chalk. Yeah. And these rims, I'm a black rim guy, but these rims, wow, they just really, really, and on the phone, it's so weird because when I was on the phone looking at it, I was like, okay, wow, if these had black wheels, it would be nice. But when I put it on my Apple, on my Mac, and it was bigger, I actually think these wheels are perfect.
Yeah, this is the way I would do it.
Yeah, no, it's really beautiful. And the pictures, again, we're not going to chant pictures and words again. I don't want you to shoot me, but we are definitely hitting a high-level standard here of the photos. Nicely done, little shadows, nice presentation in the car. And obviously, we get motivated to do great write-ups when we see photos like that. But so, Jim, as far as the price, the market on the GT4s right now, it's kind of weird. I know when these cars come out, they fly. They get great reviews. In most cases, Porsche always does. And the people go out in droves trying to buy them. They want to make money on them, the flippers. Then you have the other people that just want to take one and put it away. Mm-hmm. But something happened here.
Yeah, I think what's happened, and I saw this happen like back in 2003 with all the Mercedes. People didn't mind paying over list because they drive back in a year later and get their money back. But and over the past 2 years, people started to figure out that's not the case anymore with these cars. The Tourings were, I think we saw a paint to sample do like 60 over list when they were new. Crazy numbers, the Speedsters. So I think people are starting to get real, and only the people who really just want the car and have to have it that day and they can't leave with it unless they got to pay the premium, they pay the premium. But this is showing that the car came out quickly, and it's quickly coming to a level where, most people aren't paying a premium over list.
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of like the way the world should work. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is not odd. It's odd for Porsche, I guess. But cars usually come out for the premium. They go over list, and then when there become any inventory mm-hmm. at all, the cars usually settle down. They'll go under list, and I think we're taking a nice little groove here because as soon as the inventory dries up a little bit, I'm sure they're going to spike a little bit. No, would you agree?
Yeah, I do. The other thing I pointed out when we were talking yesterday was also Porsche raised the price on this car too. You know what I mean? So
great point.
It's I know the MSRP. I think it only went up like 7,000 or 8,000, but that is a big increase. It's like a 9% increase, but. When you see the ones advertised, the average MSRPs, the old cars, you used to see them in the high 90s
yes.
to low hundreds. These are like 120, 130 grand. They're expensive, and
that's a great point.
Yeah, and that's why, ties us into the Touring. It's, if you can afford this car, you probably can afford the Touring. It's not that much more expensive.
Yeah, but before you go there, so basically what you're saying is that Porsche increased the price of this car, and part of that may have been to take a little bit of the flipping out of it.
I think so.
It has to be.
If I were them, that's what I would do.
Why not?
You're in business.
Why not? I mean, if the cars are flipping for 10, 15,000 more than you're selling them for, then you can maybe take half of that, build it into the car's profit, but wow, that's a dangerous slope, but it's a beautiful car, and the value, we could still say value-wise, it's a heck of a lot of car for the money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a used car guy, but if I was buying a new sports car, this is at the top of the list for sure. If that had to be in a new car, but I would take this money and I could show you 50 other things I would buy that are used before I buy this car. Quite frankly. So
yeah, and what you said before is a good segue into the other car that we have here, which is the GT3 Touring, which was the paint to sample Dolphin Gray car. We were saying this before. I personally I think the GT3 Touring is probably, other than when you look at the R and you look at some very low production or numbered cars, that the Touring to me is almost perfection.
Oh, it's amazing.
I drive that car. Again, it's not big. It's bigger as Porsche evolved. They've gotten bigger, like a lot of other cars. You look at a Honda Accord today. You look at a Honda Civic today, right? So they've gotten bigger, safety, luxury, but planted enough luxury, but still feels like you could take it on the track and have the most wonderful day slamming that car around any track. And it just feels right. I can't tell you how much I love the Touring. So when you look at these two cars and you look at the difference in the price, like the GT3 Touring, the Dolphin Gray one, what did that wind up selling for, Jim?
It did 178 plus the auction fee, so that puts it right around list price.
Okay, about list price, and so 178. So and this car sold for one.
This car sold for 115 plus a 120 with the fee.
All right, well, so there's a $50,000 difference here. So.
Right, but if you took the paint to sample off of that car.
Okay, good point. All right, so we're going to confuse you a little bit, but I think it's important knowing the market, right? So this is a paint to sample, very, very special paint to sample, Dolphin Gray GT3, sold for $178,000. Nice car, nice presentation. Really, as much as the car probably could have sold for in its configuration and for what it is. So if you take a car like that, take the paint to sample away, maybe a few options, maybe even take away, like you don't need the ceramics, right? Because the GT4 did not have ceramics.
Right.
So you do that, and you're probably at about a $40,000 difference, roughly,
between
right?
the two cars. Yeah, we've seen a number of Tourings in the 160s.
All right, so here you go. So if you could, so here, I don't care 18, 19 on the Touring, the GT3 Touring, but for $40,000 more. Now that is a different price category for a lot of people. So I'm not making light of it like, hey, no big deal. But to me, if there's any way to do it, and I think holding value-wise, you're better off with the GT3 Touring, I think, in the long term.
Definitely.
I have to tell you, I'm going for the GT3 Touring. I mean, you could build up the GT4 all you want, the new one. I think it's an incredible automobile, but the GT3 Touring is a different level. It's a different level. When you drive them back-to-back, Tom, chime in here with that. What do you think?
If you put both of the cars in front of me and said, here's the keys, take one, I think I'm still going with the GT4. That mid-engine balance just does it for me.
Tom, thank you. Good night. No, so okay. There's the other. So good, good. But that's what this is about. The GT again. There's no right. There's no wrong. And I knew you were going to say that. I know what you drive, and I know the fun you have in what you drive. And listen. Also, I'm 200 pounds. What are you? Come on now.
$160.
Okay, $160. Oh, we're close. So, it's also size, right? When you're thinner and you're lightweight, okay, the GT4 may not feel as small as it does for
every pound counts.
Every pound counts. I'm not even just talking about for performance. I mean, getting into a GT4 for a guy that's 210, 220, 230. And by the way, 240 pounds is not a fat guy. 240 pounds, you're 6'2". That's fine. You're in pretty decent shape, and that car is going to feel tiny. So that comes into play also. So that's out there, right? But Tom, I get it. You still want to take the GT4 and throw it around.
There's just something about that GT4.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the different perspectives here. To me, the GT3 is again one of the greatest cars I've ever driven of any year of anything. Jim.
No, that
tiebreaker, Jim. Come on. The answer is
Touring. I don't know, man. That's just the first new car I've gotten in a while and not looked to the past.
Yes.
Whether it's I get into a new Benz or a new BMW, I get in an M4 and like it's got that fake noise coming through the radio. I'm like, where's my old, E36, E46?
Yes.
That car, I could be satisfied with it and not have an old car with the Touring. That's what it is for me.
I'm sorry, I'm getting excited because I could have not said that better myself. That is really terrific. It's you get in that car and you don't think of the past, what it could be if they did this and this. Mm-hmm. Like when they put the single mass flywheel in the R, they did it for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. To kind of harken back and to make it feel a little bit more visceral and a little bit more.
That's really the king. That one.
Well, that is
that's unbelievable.
If you've never driven one of those, sorry. It's a special car, and that's why I love the Touring. I think the Touring is just a refined, newer,
It's very close. Yeah.
Very, very close enough.
Yeah.
But as far as values are concerned, let's talk a little bit about that. So the GT3 Touring sells at 178 plus the fee, so the person's all in for 180. If I can add right, 182.
183.
183. Thank you. See, 183, and so that's about list on the car.
Yeah, it's about this. That's a fair deal for PTS.
PTS.
Yeah.
It's right there, list price, and these seem to be hovering. That's where they're going to be.
Yeah, they seem to be hovering a little under, and because this was PTS, I think it got that. You know what I mean? And it could have maybe went a little over, but we're not seeing those 20 over numbers anymore.
Yeah.
10 over. That's ridiculous.
No, that's over. But and who knows if it comes back? But also, if you want to buy one of these with 10,000 miles on it and experience this, you really could get a nice deal.
Yeah.
And get a really nice car.
Yeah, and these are holding. I mean, it all depends on what they do with the next one, right? Will determine the value of this car, but I think that something will be missing. This is a really great car. It really is.
It is, and something is. They keep chipping away at that beautiful, natural, wonderful experience. It's not their fault, They just keep getting hit with, I guess, regulations, different things making it possible. So again, we're going to do this real quickly here. GT3 Touring or GT4?
GT4. Sorry.
GT3 Touring or GT4?
Touring.
Me, Touring all day long, even for the price difference, which I think is substantial, but not. So we're gonna actually go to a question. Tom, you can hang around for this. This was really a short segment. We wanted to make this one really, really palatable. Jim is going on vacation, and we wanted to get this done before he went away. So we didn't even have a chance to grab a guest, but who needs one? We love those guys, but we don't really need you. So just real quickly, I lost my page with a question. Oh, here it is. The question was, this is from Victor. Hey, Victor, in Hanover, New Hampshire. He says, selling now or wait until the spring, what is your advice? I can only assume that you're basically talking about the market, whether Porsche or really any market is now a good time to sell. A lot of people say sell your convertible while the sun is shining, and some people will say never put your car up at the end of the fall, and all this different advice. It's like going to a car dealership and say always buy your car at the end of the month because they'll give you a better deal. So there's all these little secrets out there. I will tell you that, keep this in mind, the prime driving season in the U.S. is right now, and it goes all the way until Thanksgiving and beyond. And last year was even beyond that because of the weather. But so you have right now, we're in now mid-September, October, you got 2 months. This is a major good time to be selling a car. And also remember, the further you go down south and out west, that's extended even further. So with this new format of reaching masses amount of people that are looking for these cars, it's a great time, and there's never, ever a bad time to sell a car. Economically, things change. We're talking about seasonally right now. So, so Victor, it is absolutely a great time right now to sell your car, and it will be even after Christmas. One of the best, I don't know how many people know this, but one of the greatest weeks of car sales in the automotive business is between Christmas and New Year's. Go figure. Maybe people got bonuses, maybe they know what they're getting back on their taxes, on and on and on. There's a lot of things that come into play here. So please understand that you did not miss the boat. This is a great time to sell your car, and we are very, very excited about presenting cars that are fun to drive, like air-cooled Porsches right now. Are you kidding me? I drive my 79 SC every day, and that thing just says thank you, thank you, thank you when it's 52 degrees in the morning instead of humid and 90 by the mid-afternoon. Yeah. So what's your take on that, Jim?
Yeah, well said. I think that whole notion was it had merit, a long time ago. If he's up in New Hampshire and he's going to put it in the local Gazette, in the middle of January, it's probably not the best time to sell the car. Good point. Right now, what's happening is, like you said, you're on a global platform. People in Florida, maybe some of his friends from up in New Hampshire at their summer homes in Florida, they're itching for a car. They're going to go on and buy something. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you, while you're gaining it, you just nailed it in the head. Yeah. I didn't even think. He's in New Hampshire. Yeah. If you're putting it in the local Craigslist in New Hampshire, where you're trying to sell your car anywhere back in the day. Yeah. You kidding me?
Yeah, there was a timing
Who's
thing.
Buying a car?
But I thought of the other thing now. So the other thing is with those cars is that when with Porsche, people who drive Porsche are smart. And they started to realize they should shop earlier, and beat the spring rush. So what we found, because we were in the dealer business for years, we were selling convertible 911s in January. People were flatbedding them to their houses when there was blizzards outside. This happened. Yeah. This is a real thing. They got the jump. I do the same thing. When I'm looking for something, I say, well, I'm going to go in January. I'm not going to go. So the Porsche guys are out there, early,
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad time. And plus, the market's strong. You know, we never know what's going to happen. So the market's strong.
Yeah.
Put it up for sale and see what happens. But I think it's a good time.
Yeah, there's always going to be someone people looking for deals, and the market is going to determine values. I don't see a problem putting it up really anytime with this type of format because of the size of the audience. I agree.
Right.
And I think it's a good place to end right there. I think this is great. I think we're going to have a nice little short segment for people to enjoy.
Thank you, Tom.
So,
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Jim, thank you as usual. Tom, thank you for this. Your viewpoint that GT4 sucked, was very much appreciated. But no, it's a great perspective, and that's why I wanted John here. I think it's very important. So listen, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching us on Pcarmarket Live. We're going to continue giving you this content. Hope you enjoy it. Send us your questions, and please go to pcarmarket.com. Look at the auctions that are ending. We have some fabulous automobiles, and we have some big news coming up. So stay tuned to pcarmarket.com for the release of that news and our Instagram and Facebook account. Thanks for watching.